And the winner is Vanessa, Redgrave, and Julia.
My dear colleagues, I thank you very, very much for this tribute to my work. And I think you should be very proud that in the last few weeks you've stood firm and you have refused to be intimidated by the threats of a small bunch of Zionist hoodlums whose behavior is an insult to the stature of Jews all over the world and to their great and heroic record of struggle against fascism and oppression. And I pledge to you that I will continue to fight against anti-Semitism and fascism. Thank you.
Define Zionist hoodlums for us, please.
Yes, the small group known as the Jewish Defense League, who I do not believe have anything in common with millions of Jews all over the world, and whose behavior in recent weeks and threats made to a number of Academy members and to myself are an insult to Jews all over the world and an insult to the heroic record of Jews in their fight against fascism and oppression. And I support the fight of the Jews against oppression and against fascism. I fight against anti-Semitism, and I pledge myself to continue that fight and to continue the fight against racism wherever it is found.
Ms. Redgrave, some Jews in our audience may be confused by your anti-Semitic stand tonight. How do you explain your feelings about the PLO behavior?
I don't believe that my stand is an anti-Semitic stand. I fight anti-Semitism.
You are opposed to anti-Semitism.
And I fight fascism. I'm utterly opposed to anti-Semitism.
I understand.
And that is why I think that the work for which I received an Oscar tonight had that extra quality that comes when any actor, beyond their concentration and professional skill, believes entirely in what they are expressing. I believe in that fight, and I pledge myself to that fight, and because of my beliefs, I think perhaps my work had an extra quality. But at this moment, I think that it is enough that I make myself clear through my work. And as you know, I have made a film called The Palestinian, which I believe is a contribution to an understanding of what is taking place.
Vanessa, this is a night used to recognize artistic achievement. Why did you use it to express your political beliefs?
I don't believe I did use it to express my political beliefs.
Vanessa, can we get off the political stand?
Well, please ask your colleagues to.
First of all, I had to say what I had to say about Zionism. And in this, of course, the Zionists were very outraged. Why? Because millions of people identified Julia and identified my stand against the Zionists and for the victory of the Palestinian people and the Palestine Liberation Organization. Why?
Yes.
Because the Zionists are using the same methods as Hitler and the German fascists. Zionism is a racist ideology, like the German fascist Nazi ideology, and they're using the same methods against the Palestinian people and the Arab people, against the Arab nation. It is a completely Nazi Hitler method, the Zionist method. And I think as far as contributions that I have made and that others can and will make and are ready to make in the making of such films, that these films are not being made for the Palestinians. I would say rather that this is something in the way of paying some small part of the great debt that not only the Arab peoples but people all over the world owe to the Palestinians for their struggle which is defending millions all over the world, because Zionism is not only a threat and a danger, a mortal danger and a force of evil against the Palestinians, against the Arab nation, it is a danger against people all over the world.
And you made it jeopardizing your stardom.
Of course.
Bearing in mind all risks.
Stardom would be worth nothing if I was not identified with the millions of people who are in struggle to defend their rights. And first and foremost of this is the Palestinian people. The whole of Palestine shall be liberated and the Zionist entity crushed and put an end to forever. They are a threat to the whole of mankind, and those who support them are also a threat to mankind. And I am confident that the support can be won for the Palestine cause, for the Arab cause, which is a world cause.
What's that?
This is beautiful. This is the land of Palestine. When I arrived at the airport, and such a wonderful welcome was given by all the representatives from the Ministry of Information, from the Kuwaiti National Cinema, and from Al Watan newspaper, and from the General Union of Palestinian Women here.
With
I
Palestine
was
in Arabic,
given
yeah.
Palestine, this small necklace by a young girl who came up to me and she said she had saved all her money to give me this present. And she put it round my neck.
Oh.
And I was very honored.
Here is
I'm very happy
Vanessa.
to have it.